Good late afternoon to you and thanks for joining us. I'm Holly and you're watching 𝐊𝐶 TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. And there's no better way to wind down the day than with today's market close commentary. So let's dive straight in. Australian shares ended lower today after the Reserve Bank unveiled its plan to roll back its economic stimulus program, despite Sydney's prolonged lockdown. In a surprising move, the central bank remains committed to tapering its $237 billion monetary stimulus, citing an expected strong recovery once restrictions ease. However, strong rallies in the tech space led by buy now, pay later players, Afterpay and 𝐊𝐴 capped the market's loss. The ASX 200 dropped 16.90 points or 0.23%. to settle at 7,474.50. Earlier today, the equity benchmark opened lower and declined as much as 0.5% to an intraday low of 7,455.50. In the monetary policy announcement today, the Reserve Bank left cash rates unchanged at 10 basis points. The central bank assured to continue its bonds buying program at the rate of $5 billion a week until early September, and then truncate it by 20% to $4 billion a week until at least mid-November. The central bank also upgraded its economic growth outlook for the year to 2022 by a little over 4%. On the inflation front, however, the RBA wants to see inflation sustainably between its 2% and 3% guidance band before lifting the cash rate above its current historic low. Among the individual stocks, BNPL major Afterpay topped the gainer list for the second day, rising 11.5%. And Afterpay was followed by rival firm Zip, which surged 6.8% as well. Other sectoral players like Sezzle, Split Payments, Hum Group and OpenPay Group also entered higher amid growing demand to integrate BNPL solutions. On the flip side, though, online bookmaker PointsBet Holdings was the top loser, falling 14.35%, a staggering loss there. Some of the other worst performers were coal miner Whitehaven Coal and miner Perseus Mining. Next up, let's see how the sectoral indices performed today. Well, the equity market witnessed broad-based selling as 8 of the 11 sectoral indices ended in the red zone. IT emerged as the biggest gainer for the second consecutive day on a sustained rally in BNPL stocks. The tech index closed 4.65% higher, followed by utilities, which gained 1%. On the flip side, however, energy sector was the worst performer with a 1.5% loss, owing to a slip in crude oil prices. The material index extended losses for the second session and dropped over 1% as a fall in commodity prices dragged down mining stocks. The index heavyweights BHP Group, Rio Tinto and Fortescue Metals all ended in the red. Within the banking pack, Australia's big four lenders, Westpac, Commonwealth Bank, ANZ and NAB, all ended lower following the monetary policy announcement. Now, before we look at shares that are in the news today, it is time for a short break.
Hi there, James Preston for 𝐊𝐶 TV. Are you into gaming and virtual reality? Does AI and the endless possibilities it entails capture your interest? Or are you constantly trawling through the web to try and discover the latest updates and innovations in the tech space? Well, let us do the work for you. From the latest product launches to shocking affairs on the World Wide Web, exclusive interviews and information about the top companies like Apple and Google to brand new tech startups vying for your attention. 𝐊𝐶's Tech Beat has the latest in what matters in the world of technology. Join me every single Monday on the Tech Beat, exclusive to 𝐊𝐶 TV.
Hello and welcome back from the break. I'm Holly and you're watching 𝐊𝐶 TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. In this segment, we'll shift our focus towards stocks that created a buzz today. First up, the share price of Woodside Petroleum rose over 1% after it issued an update on the Scarborough project. The Australian natural gas producer said the costs for its offshore Scarborough gas development project are expected to touch $12 billion, which is nearly 5% higher than the previous cost estimate announced in November of 2019. According to the company, the development of the Scarborough project will deliver enduring shareholder value. The company said it has finalized technical work to support the execution readiness and completed an update of the capital expenditure requirements for the Scarborough development. And next up, shares of insurance firm Genworth Mortgage rallied as much as 9.9% to $2.33 after it declared a dividend on the back of strong profit. The Australia-based company reported an underlying net profit after tax of $76.4 million for the half year ending June 30th, when compared to the loss of $85.5 million. Boosted by strong earnings, Genworth Mortgage's board also announced an unfranked interim dividend of 5 cents per share. According to the company, the result reflects the improved economy, housing market appreciation and low interest rates experienced during the half. The performance was also supported by operational initiatives implemented last year in response to the new operating environment created by COVID-19. Moving on now, and shares of GUD Holdings dropped 4.8% to hit an intraday low of $11.52, despite reporting a rise in revenue and profit. The automotive products manufacturer posted 27.2% growth in revenue for the financial year 21 compared to the previous fiscal. The revenue growth was attributed to a rise in automotive revenue. The underlying net profit surged 32.7%, and it's also declared a final dividend of 32 cents a share, up from the 12 cents a share dividend it paid last year. And next up, shares of BNK Banking soared 3.26% to 79 cents on an alliance with Goldman Sachs for a $500 million securitization warehouse. The financial services company today said it has joined hands with Goldman Sachs to take an alliance to originate, fund, and securitize specialist mortgages in Australia. It signed a binding definitive legal document for an uncommitted $500 million in residential mortgage warehouse program funded by Goldman Sachs. While BNK will be acting as the originator, servicer, and trust manager for the program, Goldman Sachs will provide funding and will act as an arranger, structuring agent, and distributor for securitizations. Next in the headlines is Serco, whose shares rose 1.2% to $6.75 after the Australian travel bookings firm issued a business update. According to the company, travel bookings in New Zealand grew by 137% in July compared to the corresponding month in 2019. However, domestic travel bookings dropped in Australia due to travel restrictions imposed in some states in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. And now it's time for another short break, but after the break we'll be looking at some more shares in the news today. And after that we'll also be exploring the latest updates from the markets in the Asia region and looking at the trending updates from the crypto space.
Has your week hit you for six? Barely had time to breathe, let alone throw a flick pass? Well, don't worry, 𝐊𝐶 has all your sporting action covered. Each episode, I'll bring you the biggest sports news of the week. Exclusive interviews with athletes, sports commentators, and journalists. Plus, we'll also look at the finances off the field from new broadcast deals, sports commercial partnerships, and more with sports business. So for a sports show that tackles all the big issues, ball and all, Join me, James Preston, for Game On every Friday, exclusive to 𝐊𝐚𝐥𝐤𝐢𝐧𝐞 TV.
Hi and welcome back. I'm Holly and you're watching 𝐊𝐚₥ TV live from Sydney. This is the last show of the day, the last trade. Now we'll be looking at some more shares that are in the news today. And after that, we'll be exploring the latest updates from the markets in the Asia region and looking at the trending updates from the crypto space. The stock price of ANZ Banking Group surged as much as 0.3% today. The trigger for the ANZ shares was the announcement by the bank's chairman, Paul O'Sullivan, that Christine O'Reilly would join the ANZ board on the 1st of November as a non-executive director. Moving on now, and shares of casino operator Crown Resorts fell as low as 2.3% to $8.87 today. The stock fell after Chief Executive Xavier Walsh on Tuesday announced that he would step down on the 20th of August. Walsh joined Crown Resorts in 2008 and became the CEO of Crown in Melbourne in December of that year. The last share in the news today is Buy Now, Pay Later Zip.Co, who extended gains into a third session. The stocks have witnessed a strong rally after a $39 billion takeover of Afterpay by Jack Dorsey's payments firm Square on Monday. Meanwhile, Afterpay share price dropped 0.5% after a record surge in the last 2 days. Now in our next segment, a look towards the east with the Asian market performance. The Asian markets were trading mostly higher, barring Japan, driven by strong US corporate earnings. However, investors remained cautious as a rising in the number of cases of the Delta variant in the region rattled the confidence. According to the report, China has warned its residents living in 31 provincial regions to avoid unnecessary travel in light of recent outbreaks. Hong Kong's Hang Seng rose 1.6% and was the best performer in the region. The market had witnessed strong selling in the last few days amid concern about increasing Chinese official regulation in sectors ranging from tech, fintech to education. China's Shanghai Composite rose 0.6%, while South Korea's Kospi rallied 1.2%. In a similar fashion, India's BSE Sensex also gained nearly 1% in the opening trades, to hit a new record high. Bucking the trend, however, Japan's Nikkei was down 0.3%, while Thailand's SCT index dropped 0.4% as well. Moving on now from Asia to the US, and American stocks closed higher in the overnight trades on gains in Apple and healthcare stocks. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 0.8%, the S&P 500 added 0.82%, and the Nasdaq Composite settled with a 0.55% gain. Now it's time for another short break, but stay tuned because I'll be back to explore some trending updates from the crypto space. Welcome back, I'm Holly and you're watching 𝐊𝐚₥ TV live from Sydney. This is the last trade. In the last segment of our show, let's have a quick look at the crypto market performance. The cryptocurrency market witnessed selling pressure on today as investors resorted to profit booking. The persistent regulatory concerns in the US and China also dampened investor sentiment. The price of Bitcoin, the world's largest cryptocurrency by market cap, was currently down 1%. The most popular crypto extended its losing streak this week after hitting the $40,000 US level. Meanwhile, Ether, the world's second largest crypto, was up 1.5%. Other digital currencies like Dogecoin and XRP also witnessed correction. Well, that is just about all for now in the last trade. With our existing operations in Australia, New Zealand, the UK and Canada, Calcite Media has launched its operations in the US markets. Every day on our first show, the Global Market Roundup, you can get the latest and most important news from the US, Europe and Asia, as well as specific markets. So on that note, I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. live from Sydney. Holly Shields signing off.